What if the only way to bloom is to first survive the fire that was meant to consume you? In Flowers from Ashes, M. Ray delivers a dark fantasy romance that transforms devastation into destiny, proving that the most beautiful things don't grow in fertile soil. They push through scorched earth with roots forged in resilience. This isn't just another tale of magical rebellion or fated mates. It's a visceral exploration of trauma, reclamation, and the terrifying courage required to build something new when everything familiar has been reduced to cinder. From the first haunting narration, listeners are immersed in a world where magic is both weapon and wound, where every spell carries the weight of loss, and where love isn't a rescue but a shared act of regeneration. Perfect for fans of emotionally complex fantasy and slow-burn romance rooted in healing, this audiobook serves up atmospheric dread, lyrical prose, and a connection so raw it feels like watching green shoots pierce blackened ground after a wildfire. When Kaylin, a disgraced pyromancer branded a traitor for refusing to burn her own village, is forced into an alliance with Asher, the stoic warden tasked with containing rogue magic users, she expects imprisonment, not partnership. But as they journey through the blighted expanse to uncover the source of a creeping corruption that mirrors their own inner ruins, their mutual distrust evolves into something neither anticipated: recognition. Ray masterfully balances high-stakes world-building with intimate character work, crafting a romance that grows not from instant attraction, but from witnessing each other's brokenness without flinching. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional resonance, capturing Kaylin's defiant fragility and Asher's guarded tenderness with vocal textures that make every silence speak volumes and every moment of vulnerability feel like sacred ground. You don't just hear their story, you feel the heat of old wounds and the cool promise of new growth in the spaces between words. What elevates Flowers from Ashes beyond typical dark fantasy fare is its refusal to romanticize suffering or equate pain with worthiness. Kaylin's magic isn't redeemed through heroism, it's reclaimed through acceptance of its dual nature as destroyer and nurturer. Asher isn't a savior who fixes her, he's a fellow survivor learning that protection doesn't require control. Their bond deepens through acts of mutual witness, sharing stories by campfires that refuse to stay lit, defending each other against external threats while honoring internal boundaries, and choosing presence over performance when grief resurfaces. Supporting characters add crucial texture: elders whose wisdom is tempered by regret, younger rebels questioning inherited dogma, and even the land itself, which responds to their honesty with tentative signs of renewal. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth: healing isn't linear, and love thrives not in perfection, but in the messy, ongoing work of tending to what remains. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory experience. The narrator embodies Kaylin and Asher with distinct vocal signatures. Kaylin's voice carries ember-like warmth beneath ash, while Asher's low timbre holds steady calm that never smothers her fire, making their chemistry palpable even in stillness. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming intimacy. The crackle of distant flames, wind through skeletal trees, the hushed rhythm of footsteps on charred earth, all anchor emotional beats and tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of regrowth, deliberate during moments of reflection and cultural exchange, then surging with urgency when external dangers test their fragile trust. Whether you're navigating city streets or sitting in quiet solitude, the audiobook creates a transportive soundscape that makes the blighted expanse feel alive and breathing. It's storytelling as embodied restoration, transforming passive listening into active participation in a love that honors scars as much as blossoms. Ultimately, Flowers from Ashes redefines dark fantasy romance by centering post-traumatic growth within epic stakes. It satisfies genre cravings for magical systems and fated connections while delivering substantive commentary on resilience, consent, and the labor of rebuilding after systemic violence. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional journey. If you've ever believed beauty requires untouched purity or wondered whether love can exist alongside unresolved pain, this audiobook will affirm that true strength lies not in avoiding destruction, but in daring to cultivate hope within it. Press play. Breathe in the scent of rain on burnt wood, and prepare to believe that even in the aftermath of ruin, life insists on returning. Your next favorite fantasy isn't waiting in unbroken realms. It's waiting in the brave, tender act of planting seeds where nothing should grow.